already going through all of the withdrawals, by the way.
Oh yeah, I saw your text, dude. I know, I can't wait for PSX now, man. I just want to go to PSX. I hope it's somewhere close, dude.
I hope it's Anaheim again, because I don't know. Like, I don't think I can wait till next year for Comic-Con, and it's too far. Like, it was funny because it's like we went to Seattle and then we saw all the bright colors, but then it felt like when we came back to San Diego, it's like all the colors disappeared and we're back in reality.
All right, everybody, welcome to Hot Couch Potato, the podcast where we talk about crack and video games. My name is Brent, aka Buop. I'm here with my man's Rick, aka A New Perfect Day. What's going on, man?
I just realized like how my Instagram name still bugs me.
Wait,
New Perfect Night.
So you still haven't been able to figure out your old password?
No, and then it just dawned on me like a second ago that it might have been from a cold cloudy day email. Yeah, but the thing is I deleted that email. So it's permanently linked to Oblivion, and I can no longer retrieve. Maybe if I recreate that username in that, and I can retrieve it possibly. But if not, shoot, I'm gonna be stuck with A New Perfect Night forever. Or I'm gonna have to change it.
Yeah, you know what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to call Hotmail, man. You're gonna have to call Microsoft and try to recover that shit, dude.
Yeah. What is this? There's a lot of porn on here. What is going on? I'm like, nope. Sorry, wrong guy.
Dude, I'm maybe a day away from calling Microsoft to see if I can link up my two Xbox Live accounts, man. There's way too many achievements on my first account to not put them together, dude. I'm just looking at it right
you
now,
should. Man. I hope they do. Unless they can probably change the email for the other one to your current one. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how to be able to prove it, though. Just tell them, oh, yeah, I have achievements from... from Rock Band where we tried to play all the songs at once, dude.
Shit.
For 20 hours, man.
20 hours.
Oh, man. But anyways, we're fresh off the plane, dude. Fresh off the PJ from Seattle. Just got back from PAX West, man. Good times. Good fucking times, dude. You had a good time out there, man? You like what you saw out there?
Oh yeah, I had a blast. Especially spending time with all of your friends and just doing everything and playing games, and enjoying the hobbies together. But the thing is, I'm going through withdrawals right now. A video game convention, and I ended up buying myself like 3 Mario cereal, and I don't.
They still sell that?
The thing is, they're kind of rare, or at least every time I go to the store, I can't find them anywhere. And then I realized that I was looking for the Mario cereal, and I don't know if it's if they stopped producing it, but now I saw the Super Mario cereal, so I'm happy I was able to get that. And yeah, I bought 3 of them for no reasons.
You're gonna be eating cereal for days, bro. You're gonna be out there breakfast, lunch, and dinner cereal, man. You better get a lot of milk too, dude.
Exactly.
But before we go too deep into PAX West, man, there was actually a lot that happened this week. Just picking our favorite moments. Project CD Red, they're making Cyberpunk 2077, and they put out the full trailer that they showed at E3 behind closed doors and stuff. It's about 50 minutes, man, going through 2 or 3 missions, and the game looks great. The only thing I'm apprehensive about is it being in first person. Can you imagine The Witcher 3 being in first person, dude? Would you still play it, you think?
Probably not. Even though Witcher 3 was a great story, and all the stories enhance the original story, it's just being able to see your own avatar in cutscenes or whatnot, seeing your character in action. That's what made it so great. I can see all the enemies around me, block, take on multiple enemies. But first person, it's more tricky. I guess No, that's for like a specific audience, general.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they weave the stories that they're so good at weaving together, into a first-person game. I know it's gonna be open world, so that's got to take a toll on graphics and stuff. Mm-hmm. But after watching all of it, it reminds me too much of Deus Ex. Deus Ex, is that what it's called? Mankind Divided, whatever the most recent one on PS4. I mean, that game came out for free on PlayStation Plus too. I could barely get through 20 minutes of it. I was so bored.
Exactly, because you don't see the character. If you're in Witcher 3, you can put on like all this cool armor, you rock this cool shield and sword, but when you're in first person, you only like see your arm skin and your fingers and your
And I think what it is too is we're too accustomed to maybe Destiny and Call of Duty style first person shooters where it's faster and the character's lighter and more nimble, In Deus Ex, he just feels super heavy, right? I think you're supposed to be more tactical, use your your modifiers, I forget what they're called. Your power-ups more, behind cover and plan out your attacks and use your environment and things like that. Where in Destiny, you could just double jump, blink, throw grenades, turn on your super, and just tear everybody up, right? You could be a one-man army and just annihilate shit out there. Where maybe in Deus Ex, you have to be a little bit slower. There's not enough gameplay to determine if that's what Cyberpunk's going to look like. I just hope it doesn't have that same heavy feeling that Deus Ex has.
Like Killzone.
Oh, there you go. Killzone is super duper heavy, man. You're running underwater with 20-pound weights on. It's just jumping over a barricade takes 20 minutes, right, dude?
Yeah. I don't even know why they have jump in Killzone.
So we'll see. I think a bunch of articles came out too that said Project CD Red knows that everyone is questioning the first person view of this game, but they don't care. They're still going to do it.
Yeah, because their reputation is pretty good for making solid games.
That's very true. That's very true.
I don't know. Still, like when you're in first person view, you can't really connect and relate with the main protagonists and roleplay in your mind. Versus when you actually see the character, you can actually like grow and feel like you're actually the player itself. So,
you could put, I see that too, where you should be relating more to the character because you're seeing through the eyes of the character. I think in third person you see their face and then you can relate with them more as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah.
What I think is they're really trying to bank on this mechanic where you can change out your eyeballs, and just have different modifiers on so you can see through walls, see at night, have a Dragon Ball Z scouter as an eyeball so you can see people's power level and things like that. I think they're really trying to bank on that mechanic is what's going on, which is hopefully the case. Hopefully they have something in their back pocket that they're not dropping any knowledge on yet. They're just waiting for us to complain some more, and then they'll drop the bomb on us.
And they'd be like, psych, it's in third person.
That would be wild. I know, they're like, okay, so we added this feature where you could launch a drone, and technically you're first person, but you're seeing yourself from the third person view, right? The greatest company, video game that ever did that, I think was Mario. What's the most recent one? Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey, right? The first trailer we see, Mario's running around. He's throwing his hat, jumping off of his hat. Looks like Mario 64. We're excited. And then at E3, they showed the second trailer for Mario Odyssey, and he starts throwing his hat on everything, and then he starts diving into shit and taking over their body like Kirby. Oh, man. That was a great reveal, man, that they waited months to do, The danger with Cyberpunk is, are they holding on to this crazy moment a little too long to where we're going to lose interest? Time won't we tell.
Maybe that's their marketing strategy. Like they play down the game so much. By the time we actually play the game, we get super invested in the game.
Yeah, which wouldn't be bad. And at the end of it, just let the game speak for itself. I think in the trailer there's a lot of daytime missions that they do where when you think Cyberpunk, that kind of style, you just think about nighttime neon lights and flying cars, and they're really going against the grain. So hopefully all this preliminary stuff is just to get the bad out of the way, or the stuff we wouldn't expect out of the way, and then they just blow us out of the water.
We'll see, they show us the bad parts.
Yeah, and that's not a bad strategy either. Just make our expectations super, super low, and then before you know it, boop. There you go.
Final Fantasy VII.
Our balls are in your court. Yeah. You're actually in Midgar. There you go. That would be wild.
Dude, what if they made that like you're in a game within a game? So it's like it made it like Ready Player One. I think that would be interesting. And then you're like playing all the types of games inside the game.
Or you're actually a dude just in his room. Bro, that would be a crazy game, actually.
Yeah.
If you're just like Kirito from Sword Art Online, right? And you just play the video game. You have like a stamina meter for like, oh man, you need to take a nap or you need to go eat. So you have to wake up into the real world and then go out to lunch or something and shit like that.
Yeah.
That would be wild. And then, yeah, there's that conspiracy of the laughing coffin trying to kill you in real life, so you lose the game. They might as well make that game, actually, dude. That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad at all. So Cyberpunk, kind of not excited for it. I'm reserved right now. We'll see as more stuff comes out for it. We'll see if we're excited for it, man.
Yeah.
Also, Onimusha remaster, man.
Yes.
Bro,
yes.
Capcom is just killing it right now, man.
Yep.
Resident Evil 2 remake and now Onimusha remaster. I don't think it was too long, maybe 4 months ago, where I played the emulator of Onimusha and just had a ball with it, man. So I'm excited for this to come out. I can't wait to see the HD Onimusha, the panda costume with a little baby panda in his pouch just hanging out, man.
I'm gonna actually test myself and see how long I can go without I'm gonna save every so often, but without dying, replay my childhood, beating the game without a memory card and see if I still have it, and if not, then shit.
I think I specifically know the area you're gonna die at, dude.
The water level. I already know. That's where we died 50 times, and we had to replay the whole game all over to that part. It's like a water puzzle, and it's like the room starts filling up with water, and you gotta solve the puzzle before it completely fills up. And I totally forgot that puzzle, so that's the luck to me.
What I want to do, which I never did on the official PS2 version, I just did it this most recent time, was do the whole there's like a wave mode or a challenge tower that you can do, and if you finish it without dying or without resetting, you get the strongest weapon in the game. I think there's like 20 floors or something like that. I did it in my most recent playthrough. I think the only other way to get it is by finishing the game on hard or something like that.
Ooh.
But yeah, no, that sword is OP. I remember dying so much at Nobunaga, having to do all these. Wait, it's not even Nobunaga, is it? Don't you just fight a big demon at the end?
I thought that was Nobunaga.
Oh, okay. So I just remember
like you fight his first form and then his demon form or something.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because I remember spamming my special move so I wouldn't take damage at certain parts because I just didn't know how to dodge it. But with this sword, I was kicking ass, man. Yeah, and I mean, no, you won't die. Actually, the game's super easy. There's no stamina bar. You can just block all day. There's no weapon durability at all, so you just block all day. Just turtle it up, dude. The only thing is I wonder if they're gonna modernize the control scheme, because it plays exactly like Resident Evil, man. And I don't know if people who have never played the game before, newcomers to the series, are going to enjoy that.
Too bad they're gonna have to live through what we lived. They're gonna have to tippy-toe around the corner and pray there's nothing around the
corner. Pro tip. Just lock on or do your attack stance. And I think if you press square something, you face the direction that the enemy is. And that's how you know if there's anybody in the room. All right, pro tip. You heard it here first. If I see a YouTube video with this tip on it, you owe me 10 cents of every dollar you make. But I think that's what happened with the Shenmue remake that came out recently, or the Shenmue remaster. People were really frustrated at the controls because they did not update that shit at all.
Oh, for the 1 and 2 Shenmue?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I guess this will be the indicator as well if fixed camera is still as good as we remember it to be, or if it's just a specific style, tying it all together. I guess it's the same thing between first person and third person, right? Where in third person it's more action oriented. You could be faster. First person can be slower and more cumbersome. In Resident Evil 4, we were running all over the place. We were an action hero. In the first two, we're kind of taking things more steady, like you said, creeping around the corners, making sure that we don't just run blindly into a zombie that'll grab us. That's weird. I didn't mean for this to go full circle, but there you go.
Yay, now everyone can go through our own childhood, the pain and suffering we went through back in the day. I think games these days, we talked about this in the podcast, like how games are like holding your hand and guiding you through the whole game, or like telling you where to go, like versus here back in the day games is like, this is the start point, good luck, find your resources and puzzles all by yourself.
Mm-hmm. No, most definitely, man. And I think I learned that, a lot of people talk about how they learned how to go through a video game's world or learn all the rules of the world through Mega Man, right? They figured out how to jump, how to climb on walls, that they can't make certain jumps, all this stuff. The game teaches you through experience of you failing or passing certain tasks. I think I learned that video game process through Resident Evil, actually, the first one ever. I knew that I had to get keys to open certain doors. To get certain keys, I had to get other keys beforehand. One side of the mansion had this stuff, the other side of the mansion had this stuff. I just know I had to get to one specific area, so I had to go through all these steps to finish that. As you get better throughout the game, you realize, oh hey, there's a bunch of shortcuts here, I could skip certain rooms and all that. So yeah, Capcom really, I guess, taught me the ins and outs of video games, of learning on my own and adapting to what's going on, right?
Exactly. So that's what I was saying. Like, these games these days, they're just holding your hand. You're sitting on the back seat and being guided to how to play the game, versus like our games where got to figure out where the key is, and if there's even a door, and where's the key, where this key goes to what door, and all that.
Because you had to physically, on your own, examine the key and turn it around to see what kind of symbol was at the end of the key, right? Yeah. They took that away from Resident Evil 2. I don't think you had to spin the item around anymore. You could just click examine it to tell you what kind of key it is. But yeah, man, no, for sure. I definitely hear what you're saying. Onimusha's like that, in where there's only really one way to go. They don't tell you too much about how to do anything. I think there's certain doors integral to the story. Like, you have to go through this door, right? You have to level up your weapon a certain way. Yeah. So if you haven't been leveling up all your weapons, you can't open certain doors. So you have just to go back out and grind some souls, man. Yeah. So RIP, dude. Man, Capcom just coming back to it. They're killing it right now, Resident Evil 2 Remake, like we said earlier, Onimusha Remaster is coming out, which if it does well, will lead up to remastering the rest of them, maybe coming out with a new Onimusha. That would be sick.
I think they're profiting off what made them successful to begin with. You know, they're like, okay, this game made us great.
We shouldn't have changed. We shouldn't have changed it up, dude. We should have kept it as it was.
Exactly. Let's just make better graphics and call it a new game.
And if you look at it, it's not, you know, just a complete turnover of the game. It is just everything's kind of the same polygons and stuff like that. The backgrounds are maybe a little bit more polished and clear. It's an HD for sure. I think you have an option to play widescreen or 4:3, but they didn't really do too much to it, you know, which wouldn't take too long. I think it's going to cost $20 as well. So shout outs to Capcom, man. But no, I mean, even on top of that, Devil May Cry is coming out. Looks crazy. In fact, the Devil Trigger version, the Devil Trigger Virgil and Dante just got leaked. So RIP Capcom, but they lost that moment. But dude, they're killing it right now. I think they got to make up, I think, for all the losses from Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Infinite. I think that's what's going on. I think they lost too much money in that. I think Disney is taxing the shit out of them for Marvel. So they're going, okay, let's just reach into the vault, get all this money that we should have been making earlier. And if that's the case, shout outs to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, man, for failing so hard. Shout outs to you. How's Street Fighter doing? Is that still popular? Street Fighter 5?
I think so. Okay. I haven't been playing that game often, but I hear that it's doing pretty good.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, we've been to a couple tournaments, like at PSX, and I think I saw a little bit at Comic-Con. So, yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it's doing well on its own, well enough. Street Fighter's always gonna have that fan base, but I think so much was expected from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite that just didn't pull through, really. I mean, it wasn't even at EVO, this most recent one for 2018. So, RIP, man. But if we had to sacrifice Marvel vs. Capcom to get all the rest of these games, I'm all for it, dude. It's like the Capcom Jesus, man. They died for our sins, so we could have Onimusha remastered, bro.
And I ain't mad.
I'm not mad either. So yeah, that's mainly all I really wanted to cover. And speaking of learning how to play a game all on your own, we picked up The Messenger this week after seeing it at PAX West, man. How's your experience so far with that game, dude?
It reminded me a little bit of a 2-bit version of Ninja Gaiden. But you know, it's not too crazy where you're fighting ninjas back to back, but basically you're the ninja, you're the messenger. You have to deliver, I think, a scroll or something to some sort of place, and in the meantime you're like fighting all these demons and monsters. And you know what got me was when we were at PAX, and then we saw like a guy like fighting one of the bosses, and he was actually fighting the boss like pretty good, like a ninja, you know. He was like slicing all of the projectiles that the enemy was throwing, and then he would like throw ninja stars, climb on the walls, and then like I think the final kill, he was like, I'm gonna just throw one ninja star, and then he ended up killing the guy. And then from that point on, I was like, yep, I'm sold. I gotta get this game as soon as we get back to the hotel. And sure enough, you know, it's pretty fun. You know, it's just the levels that it's a platformer, so like you have to go through all these levels, dodging everything. You know, but as you progress through each of the levels, you got to use your unique skill that you purchased or bought or upgraded. And it gets a little more kind of difficult. You have to start timing things like as if you're a ninja. You know, I just soon found myself like scaling all of the walls and like flying and gliding. And then I was like, oh my God, like before in level 1, you're just like running, slicing, running and slicing. Now you're like dodging on ice and then slicing an ice cubicle that's falling mid-air in order to have a second double jump, and then like trying to grapple yourself to the wall, and then there's like spikes on the wall and you gotta glide down, you know, like things like that. So it's just interesting how the game is, and you know, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I think with my whole thing with the messenger, yeah, it's a side scroller. You're this ninja that's just running around trying to deliver a scroll. My whole thing with it is it's not a hard game objectively. It's just how good your reflexes are, how good you are about managing your jumps and your timing and everything. That's what really gets it. So if you keep dying at the game, it's not that the game is hard. It's because you suck. Really, yep. It's what's going on. I think that's why I get so flustered whenever I die in the game. That and then their whole dying mechanic is if you die, there's no lives in the game. There's currency, but you don't lose currency if you die. What happens is if you die, this little demon follows you around. And any coin that you pick up for a certain amount of time, instead of going into your pocket, goes to the demon. So you're kind of in debt to him or something like that. And he just has these smart aleck remarks every time you die.
Every time you die.
It's so horrible. Every now and then he'll remind you about how many times you've died.
Yeah, he reminded me 104 times I died.
Yeah. He'll remind you about how much money he's collected from you. It's just so frustrating, dude. And sometimes a lot of deaths, at least for me, come from either falling off a ledge, mistiming a jump, or from a boss, And I think this one time I died. What got me going? So I was playing in the plane, and what got me going is I mistimed a jump, or I didn't have a second double jump or something like that, and I fell into a pit. And the continue screen said, "Hey, I'm Quibble's friend. He said you have the most priceless face when you fall off a cliff." He was right. And I was like, all right, let me just turn this game off for 5 minutes and put it down.
I think mine, the one that got me was like, I jumped into spikes and he's like, "Oh yeah, hey, you can also jump over spikes too." And I was like, "You motherfucker." It's like, I already know this. Oh god.
No, the game is super fun though, man. It's just cool. Once you get through a part, a big mechanic in this game is if you hit something midair, then you gain a jump. Every time you hit something, you can jump again. So you can combo that up by hitting something, jumping, hitting something else, and then jumping again, and then you can cling automatically onto all the walls. This gets even better with is it the rope dart?
Yeah.
I know they said not to call it a grapple hook, so the rope dart. So you throw this rope dart out, and then you can just immediately get zoomed over to the nearest wall to you, whatever you're aiming at. And it's not unlimited range. You have to be within a certain distance for this thing to catch on. So you'll combo it up. You'll jump, slash a lamp, jump again, slash another lamp, then use your dart hook to stick to the nearest wall, and then you just sit there for a second hanging onto the wall like, holy shit, I just jumped over that entire canyon, dude.
Exactly, like a ninja.
Palms are sweating, knees weak, mom's spaghetti and shit. You're like, oh my god, I fucking made it,
And then you go to the next screen and you die.
Yeah, exactly. You have to go all the way back and do that shit again. I think that's happened to me plenty of times where the first time I go into an area, I'll just bullshit my way and just spam the hit and jump button and make it all the way across somehow, Then I'll die on the next screen. Checkpoint takes me back, so I have to do that hard part again. I just don't do it. Wait, how did I do this the first time? What the fuck? But it's a fun platformer. It really, once you get everything together, I think that's what frustrates me the most. It's not that the game is hard, but it's that I'm limited by my own reflexes, dude. And being an old man, my reflexes aren't that great anymore. So it's like my mind knows what I need to do, but my fingers aren't doing it.
Like doing it?
Yeah. But it's definitely fun. I mean, the platforming is top notch. Everything's pretty responsive. The boss fights are amazing. The boss fights are super fun. Again, there isn't any, it's not like a bullet hell, really. The boss fights are fairly straightforward and simple, but again, it's managing your jumps and being able to reach the boss where you can damage him. Yeah, you just definitely feel like a badass in this game, dude. And definitely a good purchase, $19.99, man. So I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah,
it's a good game. Now I want to just play more games like this, dude. Like Hollow Knight, man.
Exactly. I was thinking about picking up Hollow Knight too. It's just all these little indie games. I think the Switch is really good for indie games in general.
To be honest, this trip to PAX was the first time I was really playing my Switch handheld like that. You know, I'm mainly console at my desk, so I have my Switch docked most of the time. And then it was funny, you know, since we were playing, we didn't bring our docks obviously to the hotel, but you know, since we were playing The Messenger on the small screen for so long, it was funny. I remember when we went back to PAX for the second day and we walked by Devolver's booth, he said, "Oh, wait. Let's look at Messenger on the big screen again." Just to make sure it's still held up. And it did, dude. I haven't even played it yet on my TV, so that's probably what I'm going to do after this, dude. Just play The Messenger real quick on my TV and see if it still holds up. But, yeah, man. Great game. Another thing, there's a couple of things, you know, besides me playing the Switch for a lot longer than I ever had in handheld mode during this trip. A couple other things I noticed is, dude, Rick is an old man.
I am an old man. Or that, I think I'm out of shape. I think it's probably because my bones felt like aching. It might have been the temperature, you know, it was like kind of cold in Seattle. So, and we're going downhill, and my knees are like kind of giving out. And then I had like a little bad memory, and I already went to bed like at 7 o'clock at night. So it's just, I think it might have been just a change of weather. It was a new perfect day, but it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah, Rick would like yawn at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Rick, are you tired, man? He's like, no, I'm not tired. He's all tearing from a yawn and shit, dude.
It was all the excitement, you know? It's just been a while. I think I need to exercise.
He would like limp every now and then, dude. I think Rick pretended to like elbow me in the face or something, and when he pivoted on his knees, like, oh god.
Yeah. Oh, see, it's never the same. My knee is never the same.
It got so bad it rubbed off on me. I was trying to show Rick this secret butthole shortcut from the convention center to our hotel. I made it fine the first time I took it. You know, I was able to find our spot super quick. I was gonna show Rick. Totally took a wrong turn or missed a turn. I was like, oh my god, it's rubbing off, dude.
I think we were lost for like a good 10 minutes.
We walked up and down the same block maybe twice, dude.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, Rick's an old man. Confirmed, dude. And yeah, if there's anything to know about me, I know I've said this a couple times on this podcast. Shout outs if you remember everything you need to know about me. But I'm pretty stubborn, dude, right? I think that's why I play a bunch of hard video games, is because I want to beat it, and no matter how many times I die, I'm just still going to go through it, right?
Yeah.
It takes a lot for me to change my mind about something. I think the last big thing in my life I changed my mind about was smartphones. I used to be super against it, you know? I think I was the last motherfucker holding on to those chocolate phones. You remember those? The ones that slid up instead of flipped out? I thought it was so cool, dude. I thought it was so cool. I had the OG chocolate, the square one, and then I got the other one where they curved it out more. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was so cool. And then I got the flip phone with the full keyboard and shit. I was like the last person for real to get a smartphone. That was the last real thing I feel like I conceded to. So I don't concede to a lot. But I think I will concede to Rick inceptioning me into playing Pokemon Go. Dude.
Yes!
I think I'm legit fucking playing this game again, man.
Yes! I've noticed too, like every time I'm on Pokemon Go, I already see you online. You know, I don't really like say anything because I don't want to scare you away. So I was like, oh my god.
No, it's okay, Rick. It's okay. Go ahead. Take your victory lap, dude. Take your victory lap. You know, I know you've been really wanting me to get back into Pokemon Go, dude. So go ahead.
I was just opening your eyes, you know, like everyone around you playing.
Well, I think I mean it's cool because we're just playing with friends, you know what I mean, and going to raid. I think the raids are a huge part of why I'm playing this game again. You know, just usually you hunt on your own or you hunt with one other person, you know, but going to the raids and really seeing who else is playing this game, right, is just great. Just putting faces to the community is awesome. I work near our friend Maynard. We kind of work on the same block, and he's a part of this Discord group. Shout outs to the Kearney Mesa Discord Pokemon Go group, by the way. And, you know, he hunts with them during his lunch. You know, they'll call out when raids are. They'll let you know if there's a shiny or a rare Pokemon in the area. They'll let you know when there's rare field researches in the area, you know, and he works up there. So anytime they post something special, he'll just take a break from work real quick and jump down the street, you know. I'm not so liberal with my breaks, so I actually have to plan out, you know, if I'm going to join them or not. But it's cool, you know, just getting all the insight. I even invited Rick to the Discord because there's just so much information that they're letting me know in there. Yeah, they know a lot about this game, which is really cool that there's so much going on with it, you know. Like the way how we go really in depth with Bloodborne or Dark Souls, they're really into that with Pokemon Go, right? Speaking of, did you know there's 8 different Spindle, Rick?
That I thought that wasn't true. Like the first time I ever caught it, I had like 3 and they were all exactly the same. But then I think recently people were saying like there's 8 different Spindles, and I was like, God damn it, you know, why did I get 3 of the same ones? That doesn't make sense.
In the Discord they were telling you it shows on your Pokédex which ones you've caught. There's like 8 different ones, right? And it tracks the different ones you've caught. Yeah, just I guess it depends on what the spots look like on their body or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways, so this is just me beginning to get into Pokemon Go again, I feel like, on my own, right? Because the only other times I played was when I was raiding with Rick, right? But I think one day it was like the Monday, or no, maybe the Tuesday after we went on the Ho-Oh raid and all that. I was on my way home, you know, just getting ready to be in an hour's worth of traffic. If there wasn't traffic, it'd take me 20 minutes to get home. So you can imagine how much I'm looking forward to this drive. And, you know, the Discord pops up and it says, oh, hey, there's a double Regirock raid out here at the Art Institute in Mission Valley. If you guys want to come, we got 5 accounts so far. And that's how many people you know are going to raid. So I'm sitting in traffic. I'm maybe 10 minutes away. And I go, you know what? I'm in. So I take a little detour, you know, go down a little west into Mission Valley, go to the Art Institute, kind of sitting in my car. You know, people saying they're going to be there in about 5 minutes. Sitting in my car waiting. I think I blinked or I dropped my phone or something like that. Either way, I reached down to pick something up. And I look back up. And holy shit, there's like 6 people in front of me at the gym getting ready to raid. I legit had to get out of my car and run away. Wait. Where's the Mystic team? Let me get in. And you know, as we were standing there, they're like, oh, wait, we got to wait for so-and-so. We got to wait for so-and-so. And I was like, holy shit, these are all the people in that Discord. This is kind of crazy right now, you know, and everybody's just introducing themselves to each other and everything like that. Most of them were friends already, and you know they came in all shape, color, and sizes. Man, it was wild, dude. There was old people, young people. There was a dude in a business suit, man. There was a guy that got dropped off by his mom. There was hipsters. There was some of the kids from the art school. It was crazy, man. Just the diversity in this group of Pokemon Go players. I think the receptionist came out of the school and was like, do you guys need help? And someone said, nah, we're just raiding. And she kind of gave us a blank stare and walked back in, dude. But it was crazy. And let me tell you, I think I was the only person there with 1 phone. I think everybody else had 2 phones and an iPad. Everybody was just clicking and flicking all at the same time, man. It was crazy. Like, there's probably 15 people standing in front of the school, right? But we had enough accounts, I think, for 3 different groups, dude, because we all jumped in and the group got full and we're like, oh, okay, let's split it up. Where's the Mystic team? So we all just made different teams, you know. And it was crazy because I died. My last Pokemon died as we beat it, so I got scared there. With my last Pokemon, I was just dodging, didn't even attack. And then when I threw my Pokeball and Regirock got in the Pokeball, my game froze. So I didn't know what was going on, you know. So I kind of closed the app and opened it again. I was like, oh no, I missed it. And someone told me, oh yeah, if you email them, they're pretty good about giving you another raid pass. I was like, okay, like just make sure you take a screenshot. So I took a screenshot. I opened up, looking at my Pokemon. I was like, holy shit, dude, he's in my Pokemon bag. What the fuck? And dude, from then on, man, it's just been all downhill from there, bro. I put that together with this weekend. You know, we're in like a dead spot for the internet. So whenever we turn on Pokemon Go, our GPS is all over the place. So our character's just running circles around downtown Seattle.
They're literally running 3 blocks away and 2 blocks the other way. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm hatching my eggs.
Right? We're just sitting in our hotel room hatching a bunch of, or not hatching eggs too, but also getting candy from our buddy, right?
Yep.
It's just all over the place, dude. Yeah, I think I've caught more new Pokemon on this trip than I ever, dude. So
yeah, Seattle has like all of the Pokemon we don't see in like San Diego or Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but you don't see the other types of Pokemon we've been catching in San Diego and Los Angeles. So it's like, I think it's a good mixture of the two. But you know, but it's good that we were able to see all the Pokemon we couldn't see before, and you're able to catch them. You know, and then especially. That's when I was like, I had my mind blown on the trip. You know, I knew the unknown, which they spawn at events basically, and I know they spawn with certain letters, and I didn't realize they were spelling out certain letters. And when I was like looking in Seattle, I was like, oh hey, 3 different unknowns I've never seen before. And then when I caught them, I was like, oh yeah, okay, what letters do they spell? And they spelled PAX. PAX. And I was like, wait a fucking minute. And then I looked to see what the other unknowns I caught for Comic-Con. And it spelled SD Comic-Con. And I had my mind blown from all of the universe. And I was just had to share this information with everybody. I was like, God damn, I am not a great problem solver, I guess. But I was like, oh my God. Now we know that they spawn at these kind of events. And if you're looking for a certain letter, just look at the name of the event and you can surely find it.
which honestly kills me because I threw away all my Comic-Con unknown. I was running out of room in the bag, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, no, it's fun. You know, there's the Wingull event this weekend. Moltres is next weekend, so I don't think there's gonna be a time where I stop playing Pokemon Go anytime soon. This is how bad it is I came home. You know, we all got home this afternoon, and I sat on my desk getting ready. Just amazing Mexican food. Shout out to that Mexican spot in Seattle, though. That was pretty decent. Those tacos.
That was pretty good.
But you know, just getting ready to have this great meal, watch some YouTube videos, and I pick up my phone and I open Pokemon Go and I go, why am I opening up Pokemon Go, dude? And then I just see the Rick Inception in my mind. Like, oh my God, it makes so much sense now.
Yes.
I'm fucking playing this game again, dude.
While you were sleeping, I was whispering in your ear.
Whoa, dude.
Pokemon. I want to be the best.
Okay, it's getting out of control. Relax. Well, yeah, no, I'm definitely playing Pokemon Go again. So shit, pulling up for Team Rank, dude. I'm out there. Can't wait for Moltres next week, dude.
Exactly, and we're pretty close to catching the 151. You know, you already have a friend going to Japan, and he was gonna trade you. Was it Farfetch? So I'm already kind of requesting that from him too.
I can't wait, dude. I can't wait for Farfetch. That's gotta be my favorite Pokemon, man.
Yeah.
With his, especially after the TV show with his samurai leek sword, dude.
Exactly. Make sure you like leave it in every single gym you battle with.
Yeah, dude. Even if he's weak, I don't care. You can just give me the lowest CP. Just gonna name him.
Exactly. That was the first time I've ever seen Farfetch.
In that gym? Yeah.
Yeah.
Name him Musashi or something, dude.
Yeah, when it showed up, I was like, oh, it showed up in my Pokedex as an outline. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait to have that guy. But yeah, man, good times playing Pokemon Go. With all that, dude, yeah, I think we can finally talk about PAX West, man. Good times.
Yeah, good times.
Good fucking times. It was a lot more mainstream than I thought it was gonna be, realistically, because we got in there and yeah, they had the main Nintendo booth, which was packed. Obviously, they had main Xbox and Sony booths. Sony, of course, is still using their check-in system, which didn't work because everybody sucks up the internet over at the convention center, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it was a lot more mainstream in that sense, but you could definitely feel that there was more of an emphasis on the indie games, right?
Oh yeah, especially the second floor.
Yeah. So there were 2 floors. The main floor was the 4th floor where they had all the mainstream stuff. I think the first game we played was Let It Die, which is a game that's already out, but I never really took the time to play it. That game's actually pretty fun, man.
What is that game about?
Remember where you had the gun and you were just popping people off? It's like Dark Souls, but with a gun.
Oh. Was that at the end?
No, that was at the at the end of the hall, yeah. But it's the very first game we played out there.
I don't remember.
Oh, dude,
old man syndrome. Let me Google it.
But anyway, so the first game we played was Let It Die, and it's cool. I didn't think it would be as fun as it was. I just know it's gonna. Oh, side note, I have not spent any money on Pokemon Go yet. Still don't plan to.
Don't lie. I see your inbox pretty big.
Still don't plan on doing it. Oh, dude. Let me tell you, that's 2 years of collecting coins to grow my inbox, dude. Just once. But it's a game. It's free to play, but you pay for lives. You know, all of your armor, all of your weapons, they can break and you lose them forever. So I think you pay for repair materials and things like that, which is why that would be dangerous. Because I know I'm not good. I'm not that good. If the messenger has taught me anything, my reflexes are decaying a little bit. That in conjunction with I'm stubborn, so I want to finish the game. I'm going to spend millions of dollars on this bullshit, dude, if I pick it up.
Exactly.
But it's fun. It is. It's like Dark Souls if you have a scar. I think that's the best part of it. But yeah, no, we were out there. Jump Force had a demo out there. I know Mark and Russ were really into
Soul
Calibur 6, so they were out there playing it all day. Huge lines for Kingdom Hearts 3 demos, of course. The funny part is more than one booth had the demo for Kingdom Hearts. More than one booth had the Soul Calibur 6 demo. And at the other booths, there just wouldn't be any lines. So I think the whole day Saturday, Russ and Mark just played Soul Calibur 6 for like 6 hours, dude. Because nobody was playing in that area.
Exactly. And I think they played it so much, they thought he was like one of their employees for Geico. And I think Mark was saying that he was actually like talking about the game, how great the game is, how to get into the game, and teaching the players. And I was like, dude, you already work there. You just gotta sell them insurance at this point.
You gotta sell them insurance, dude.
Because it was at a Geico booth, and I was like, golly, I think you make a pretty good salesman. Just invite them to play games, and then boom, you got insurance for life.
Right. And then at the Sony booth, they had one station that had Kingdom Hearts. It was like tucked away in a corner, dude.
Yeah.
And, where they gave people out tickets at the Square booth to play. You had to come back at certain times to play Kingdom Hearts. There was like 2 people in line at the Sony booth, dude.
Yeah, I know. At first, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is this? Oh, it's Kingdom Hearts. And I looked in line. There's like 2 people.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Why is this way over here in the hidden, far away from the actual game?
Yeah, man, that's what was crazy to me, And of course, we all know my favorite sport of getting free stuff without having to do the requirements for it. Rick and I saw Dauntless. We saw the Dauntless booth out there. And we just walked in and said, "Oh, hey, man, let's try Dauntless." There was this open station, so Rick and I jumped in, picked up sticks. There was like postcards with free game codes, free beta codes, and like a patch there.
Free patch.
Yeah, so Rick and I just jump in. We pick the weapon we want to use. We pick our characters. We vote on a boss we want to fight, and we're just sitting there. And it's stations of 4, but we can't see the other 2 stations because there's a wall in front of us, right?
Yeah.
So we're just sitting there, just waiting. I'm waiting for a countdown for Rick and I to start hunting. Dauntless is, I don't think I'm giving it enough credit, but it's basically like Monster Hunter World. You just
4 people
hunt a monster. The weapons are fairly similar. And this guy comes up. He's like, "Oh, hey, let me find 2 more people to play with you." We're like, "Oh, okay, cool." Maybe he has to go recruit some people because nobody's really playing Dauntless, right? I mean, it's already out, so
exactly. It was an empty-ish kind of floor with like 6-7 stations times 4, so 24 stations.
Yeah, dude. Like, how many people really want to play this game, right? That's already out.
Yeah.
So he grabs 2 more people. They come and they jump in, and it seems like they've played before because they know what the name of the monster is and all that stuff. They know what kind of items we have. So we play. Ultimately, we get our asses kicked by this guy. And like, okay, that was fun. He gives us more postcards and more patches and go, "Okay, cool. Thanks, man." We just pocket that shit. They just walk out of there casual, like, whatever, dude. That was a pretty fun game. Cool experience. And then as we walk out, I notice, holy shit, there's a line that goes around the corner of this booth, dude, to play this game.
A whole giant line.
Like 30, 60 people deep, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, no, this can't be right, dude. There's no way we just ran out blindly, cut this whole line and started playing. How did they even just let us playing? How did they just let us into this booth right now? That's irresponsible. There's no way this line is to play the game. They must be trying to just sign up for a raffle or something. So Rick and I stand there for maybe a minute just to see what this line does, right? And that's exactly what it does. He grabbed 4 people to go play at the station we were just playing at. I felt so bad. I felt so bad, dude, because it wasn't even on purpose. Dauntless to me isn't even worth it to try and finesse, right? There's certain things like the Nintendo Lounge at Comic-Con, that's worth the finesse. That's worth us, taking John Raymond to cut in line to get that hat, to get the, plush dolls. That's worth cutting all those people for, I have no sympathy. For Dauntless, dude, I'm really not trying to play the game like that. I felt so bad. I think I told Rick, I was like, "Oh no, dude, I feel so guilty right now, man."
I tried to convince you. I was like, "Don't worry, man. We were oblivious. It's okay. They forgive our ignorance." Because literally, we just walked in and then, we had no idea that there's a huge line and nobody said a word about us skipping and then cutting ahead of them.
No way.
Maybe they did see us and they didn't want to speak up because they were too shy, but hey, we got to play the game.
No, yeah, that's very true. That's very true. But yeah, what else did we see, man, on the first day? You remember any memories stand out for you, man?
I have to do old man syndrome and like walk step by step through the convention.
Okay, we're gonna relive PAX West with Rick right now.
So I go into the convention and I was awestruck by all the video games and I was like, "Oh my god, there's so many video games, but there's so many lines." So I think the first thing we hit was that Let It Die game, and then we go around the corner and there's Overwatch gear, and then we saw the controllers.
I forgot about those.
Yeah, the controllers, dude. I was like, "Oh, cool! They're customized, like almost like professionally. They're really good controllers, detailed." But the thing is, we looked at the prices, and it was $120 for one controller, and I was like, "Yeah, let's go on." So we move on. I think we were trying to get into the Nintendo Lounge at that point, but of course, Nintendo, it would be completely packed.
Oh yeah,
there's Pokemon, Smash, all the great games that you want to play. It's just completely line capped at that point of the day. So then we go in the indie booth, and I think that's when we played that one game, the one where you have to play to the rhythm, and that's the only way to attack.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that one. It's if anybody's familiar with Enter the Gungeon, it's like that where you have to. I guess in Enter the Gungeon you have to move to the beat, but in this you can move freely. Your attacks are stronger the more on beat they are.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty cool. Like fun, that was similar to that one other beat game. I forgot the one that Russ likes.
Oh, Beats and Shapes or something?
Beats and Shapes, yeah. So you have to beat the boss to like the sound of the music, and you time the attacks accordingly. But yeah, after that we played that. We went to the ThinkGeek area where they're selling merchandise.
Oh my god! Wait, let's talk about the merchandise real quick. It's such a trap, dude. It's such a trap. I mean, my sister's collecting lapel pins, so of course I was on the lookout for lapel pins everywhere, dude. And of course, there's this thing at PAX called Penny Arcade where they just have a whole set. Each place has a lapel pin that they sell that you could collect, man. I'm glad I didn't splurge on anything at that ThinkGeek. That was like the first spot we really saw that just had great stuff, and I almost bet the farm on it, dude.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
And then we're walking around later and we see the Fan Gamer banner on the ceiling and hanging from the ceiling, and then there's just Dark Souls action figures on it.
No. I legit almost bought those figures too.
But yeah, Fan Gamer, that was kind of on the Sky Bridge. Yeah, so we did that, and then what else did we do after that, dude?
After we went to that area, we moved on to what was the area behind it? That's where the Microsoft stuff was.
And Sony, and then more indie games on the right. Behind the Facebook stuff. Yeah,
we're just I think we're just browsing all of the games because, in the middle of the day, I think it was already capped for every game you possibly want to play. We were just browsing all of the indie games, and that's what's cool. All the indie games was pretty legit. I was super excited for all the indie games.
Mm-hmm.
But and also I originally thought that, the convention was kind of small. And I was like, oh, okay, is this all of everything? We kind of saw everything within the past 2 hours. And, some of the indie games that caught our eye was what's that game that you were playing?
The Dark Souls
Dark Souls game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's Sinner.
So, yeah, you ended up playing that game on the second floor. But the first day we didn't know that there was the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
We were walking around, and I think we went to the PlayStation area, and we could not get into any of the PlayStation games because we had a reserve.
For the well, it was just for Dreams and the PSVR stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I think we met with Russ at Fan Gamer or something. He said, "Oh yeah, they capped the Spider-Man line or whatever." So yeah, it was pretty packed over there as well.
Yeah, but then I think when we were getting ready to leave or get lunch, that's when we saw the Spider-Man line, and we're like, okay, there's no line or there's no cap, and we managed to hop into the Spider-Man line, and then once we played Spider-Man, Jesus Christ, man, that fucking game just reminded me how great the game already is. You look at the E3 trailers and all that, and you're like, okay, this is going to be a great game. But then when you actually play those kind of games, it's like, oh, okay, this is half of what I expected, but it's still a good game.
Dude.
But Spider-Man, dude, oh my God, I was kind of dying. I died 3 or 4 times, by the way. In the tutorial area, and I was like, oh, this is great, this is a great game. I was just going through the city, even though I didn't know there was a timer. I was just going through the city, just swinging the web and all that. And godly, I was trying to be the one of the guys I was watching. He was just swinging, he barely touched the ground, he was just swinging. So I was pulling everybody up, beating them up, and then just pulling the next guy up to me, swinging around. But I kept dying by the range people. But yeah, what do you think about Spider-Man?
No, I think it's awesome. I definitely pre-ordered it before we went to the event, so I was already in it to win it, man. But playing it, it's just a dream fulfilled. I wish I could go back in time and tell like 12-year-old, 10-year-old Brent, hey man, this game you're playing, the Spider-Man game, is gonna come back and it's gonna look even more realistic, man.
Yeah,
that would just make my day. You know what I mean? I would just be counting down the days until 2018. But it's great, and what I love about it the most, right, is that was always the thing in Spider-Man is, you know, you can swing around the city, but you can't just shoot your web anywhere, right? You got to have something to anchor it on, like a building or something. So It didn't make sense in some of the old Spider-Man games. If you were above the skyline, you could still shoot your web up and swing. Like, okay, what is this hanging onto? A cloud? That make no sense. Yeah. And this one, you really couldn't. I mean, it just tells you to hold R2 to start swinging and stuff. But if you're above all the buildings, you can't really do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you dive real quick, and then you shoot your web up, and then you can press X for like a speed boost, and then you use your momentum to navigate through buildings and stuff. You don't know how many times, man, I like made a right hand or left hand turn in between buildings just to like run across the building or swing around it real quick to feel like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's so dangerous. I think I'm going to spend the first 3 hours of that game just swinging around.
Swinging around?
Yeah. Especially after that last trailer you showed me, dude. I'm just going to be looking for those landmarks. Rick just showed me a trailer before we started recording with the... it's just Spider-Man going through the city and stuff, and he jumps off the Avengers Tower. He jumps off Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer's hideout and stuff. You can see the red window that Hulk crashes through. And then he like passes by the Wakanda embassy, man. It's crazy. Dude, we were just talking about if Iron Man or any of the Avengers makes a cameo in this game, 10 out of 10. Automatic, dude. 10 out of 10, bro. 10 out of 10. That would be insane if that happened, man. Yep. But no, it's good. The Comm SL is a little bit of a mix of Batman, but with Spider-Man abilities, dude. It's super fun. You know how many times I did that one mission? And, well, let me just say this. When my demo was almost done, it said 5 minutes remaining in demo. My game crashed. Fortunately, there was one of the guys from the booth right behind me. I was able to tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, man, look. And he looked at my screen and it said it crashed. He's like, oh, okay, don't worry about it. I'll just restart it for you. So I got to play the demo twice.
Twice? I was wondering. I was like, is there a secret boss you're doing? How come you can play longer than I have? I ran out of time and I was like looking. I was like, all right, Brent should be out because everybody, Crystal and Russ were already coming out too at the same time. Mm-hmm. And we were like waiting for you. And then I think 5 minutes later, we're like, dude, goddamn, are you like fighting all of the bosses?
Yeah. So it was good, man. Just got my favorite. So there's this, it's all, I don't know. There's a point, the demo leads you to a certain like fight or something. I forgot what it makes you do first, right? Then after you do this fight, you're at the top of a building and they tell you to press R3 to scan your environment or something, You press R3 and you just scan all the buildings around you and all these mission points pop up, like different things that you got to look at. And I go, oh man, I'm doing this, dude. I'm going to explore this entire city, right?
Yep.
I think the only time I died was when I was swinging randomly and then you hear, oh, we have a shootout down here at the intersection, and you go downstairs and you go to the street level, there's just 5 guys with fucking machine guns shooting it out with the cops. That's the time I died because all those guys had guns. But my favorite one, I think there's this one little side mission where you have to fight through different waves, right? And I think on the 3rd wave, there's just a guy with a bazooka, like a huge-ass rocket launcher. There's no need. You're just trying to kill Spider-Man. Why do you need a fucking rocket launcher, Stinger missile to kill Spider-Man, dude? So being able to, like, prioritize him, and beat him up over everybody else is great. Man, now it's the year of the grapple hooks, man, or the week of the grapple hooks. Because that triangle attack with Spider-Man, where you press it and he just automatically zips his way to the nearest enemy,
See,
and then
that's why I like
thing in
Chain
Messenger,
and Kunai. Chain and Kunai.
You did use that in the Dauntless demo too, huh?
Yep. And I use that in Neo.
So yeah, man, Spider-Man is great. I can't wait to just really get into it and explore that entire city. It's gonna be awesome. There's gonna be so many Easter eggs, dude. So many Easter eggs.
I'm gonna explore it to the T. I'm gonna walk on all the streets.
not web sling.
Yep.
I just want
to
to
see everything ground level.
If there is like a crater where Hulk landed somewhere or something like that, that would be amazing too, dude.
Shit, yeah.
But no, that was good times. After we played Spider-Man, we went to lunch, and normally we want to talk about. Well, we always talk about eating great food on this thing, but no, we went to Din Tai Fung, man, the best.
Yes, sharing the wealth with everybody, and then I think it was Mark and Russ. They never tried it before.
Yeah,
and probably Crystal too. Never tried it, so we got to pop some cherries, and it's just like, boom.
Yeah,
they became believers as soon as they took their first bite.
The Xiaolong Bao, man, the best, bro.
Xiaolong Bao.
So the funny story, when I went to Australia, Melbourne, huge Chinatown. It's just like, did I tell this story already on this podcast? I don't know. I'm telling it again anyways. Just like the merchant in The Messenger. Anyways, great Chinatown. It's kind of like San Francisco. And, we went to this restaurant that had, 2-person line outside. So we said, oh, it must be good. You could bring your own wine in. So we brought our own wine. And we get inside and we look at the menu and I say, Xiaolong Bao. And I go, okay, guys, we got to get this. This is really good. You've never had this before? I said, no, we've never had it before. So ordered it. They ate it. Mine's blown, dude. They were like, oh, it's so good, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, dude, this is the best. The place in LA that has this stuff. It's great. All this and that. We leave. This is our first night in Melbourne, right? We were there for 2 more days. We ate at that restaurant 2 more times.
2 more days.
Dude, yeah, man. They were in love with it. Yeah, that dish never fails, bro. It's just always. I think we started to feel like we were overhyping the dumplings, but once Mark took a bite, he's like, "Oh man, that's dangerous. I could eat 1 million of these." You're like, "Okay, nope." They still stand up, dude. No one can say no to these shits.
Exactly. And then what I've noticed too is like, because we each order had 10, and then I think Mark already ate his 10, and my 10 came, or at least I thought it was my 10. So I started like eating mine, and then Mark was like eating some of mine. I was like, okay, yep. No worries, I ain't mad because you guys are trying it.
And then even on the second day when we were talking about eating lunch and things like that, I think Russ mentioned Din Tai Fung.
Yeah,
like, okay, here we go again, dude.
Dude, have you tried the truffle yet?
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing. It's pretty pricey though.
It is.
But
it's expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good for what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, that was lunch on the first day, and I think after that, I think you guys might have went back to the hotel or something. I just went back to the convention after lunch that day. But that's when I discovered the 6th floor.
Yes, my favorite
West.
floor.
Yeah, man, and that one was just all indie games. They had a bunch of free play areas where they just had a bunch of consoles out there that you could jump on, borrow games for, and play on there. I think I was waiting because the actual hall closed at 6, but those game rooms were open, I think, until 11 or something. Yeah. So I was waiting for traffic to die down. That's when I discovered the secret butthole way, and I was just playing Metal Slug on the Neo Geo. I beat the shit out of it and got high score, man. It was great.
Have you checked your score yet to see if anybody beat your score?
No, man, but I took a picture of it, so it's immortalized. So
score of 1.
I got to play the Division 2 demo, and you know what? I'll have to say, man, that they didn't fucking learn anything from Division 1, dude. That game is still the same, dude. It's still the same. The graphics might look a little bit better or whatever, but there was some new abilities, but Jesus, dude.
Dang.
Leave it alone, Ubisoft. Leave it alone, dude. Yep. It's fine. It's fine. What else did I play during that? I played a couple of the indie demos, some of the side scrollers up there. A lot of Mega Man roguelike games. But that was it, because I think I got back there with only an hour and a half left. Oh, I also played that Super Smash Bros. Type game but it was with Shovel Knight and a bunch of Steam characters in it. The boss we fought in Dauntless was in it too, and if you won, you got a pin. I almost won, just because Shovel Knight is fucking OP in that game, dude. He has the strongest fucking moves out of everybody, man. And I almost won. Rick and I went day 2 and tried to team up and get it, but there was a guy who had obviously been playing.
I know. He was like, saying, "Oh yeah, I've never been playing this before, and I'm gonna try this." And I was like, "Yep, the way you move, you've been playing this game."
He's like fucking. He was wave dashing and shit, man. Like, all right, dude, come on.
Yep.
But I guess that'll lead us to day 2. We really hit the 6th floor hard that day, man, because the first day was a Friday, second day was a Saturday. Oh man, I bought a Destiny 2 Ghost, and that's all we're gonna say on that. Actually, that's all we're gonna say on that. So
how's that?
We went to the 6th floor. We went to the 6th floor, and we went to the 4th floor first. That's where we saw that Soul Calibur 6 station that nobody was playing on. We went onto the main floor, and it was packed. I overheard a conversation our first day, and the guy was one of the people that worked there said, "Oh yeah, today wasn't too bad. Tomorrow was gonna be a nightmare though." And I thought to myself, "Oh no, really? I thought today was kind of bad already, but if it's gonna be worse tomorrow, that's no fun." And sure enough, dude, on that main floor, on Saturday, it was crazy packed, huh?
It was San Diego packed.
It was Comic-Con.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah, it was Comic-Con for real. And Rick was trying to get his Nintendo towel for being a My Nintendo member, and dude, that's some of the craziest crowds I've ever been in, man.
Yeah, it just reminded me of E3 too. You know, like how we tried to get that Mario hat, and it had like 20 lines just to get the Mario hat. Yeah, I was like, oh, lame-o.
Crazy. But we were able
also,
to get it.
I think on that day too, I got they're handing out free Magic packs.
Oh, you got like 5 of them, dude.
Yeah, it was like a starter pack, and I literally almost got into Magic because they handed it to me and it was like free and it was a starter pack and it had like 60 cards per pack, and then the girl was like, "Oh yeah," telling everybody, if you want a free pack, you just gotta sit down and play with the other players and learn the game. And so like I grabbed like 5 and I was like just handing it off to Crystal. But I really had the intent of actually starting to play Magic. But other than that, I think when we went up to the 2nd floor, it was amazing.
Yeah, no, a lot more demos that we could actually play up there. You mentioned before I played Sinner up there, the Dark Souls-like game, and it's gonna be crazy, man. I can't wait till that game comes out, actually, because they said that as you beat a boss, you get weaker. Like your strength goes down, you lose your armor or something like that with every boss you beat.
Yeah.
So where in any other game, if you beat a boss, you get experience, you could level up. In this game, it goes the other way around, so that's why it gets harder the further you go into it.
Yeah, and I thought that was like, I was like, why would I want to do that? But then it, really, it makes sense, because if you go in a dungeon and then you keep using your sword 1,000 times, your sword is bound to break, and your shield, you can no longer block everything, and it's like, oh wow, that concept is pretty interesting.
And I think later on in that day, we went downstairs. To the indie game area downstairs, and they had Sinner down there too, and it was packed.
It was
yeah. Meanwhile, I just really walked up, talked to the person for 2 minutes, and then played the game, which was crazy.
And you almost beat the boss, which is
I know.
If you had that
I wasted a couple heals, dude. I think I was standing in a corner, like at the beginning of the fight, and healed for no reason, dude.
Yeah, I was like, I think if you had that potion, you could have actually beat the game.
The thing about that is there is no iframes for if you get knocked down. You get knocked down, they attack you again. You're getting hit.
You're getting hit, yeah.
Yeah, you're taking damage, man. Yeah, I gave her the good old college try. It wasn't a reliving of the first time I played Neo at PSX. Didn't just surprise one trick horse, beat the whole thing. What else? We played Ashen. Ashen was amazing, man. That's a game we've talked about here before. where it's like an action RPG type game. I'm hoping it's multiplayer, man.
I'm hoping so too.
Because in the trailer it looks like it's multiplayer, but I think the multiplayer portion, what we thought it was, is just an NPC that's following you around. I mean, there was definitely a ledge that I had to co-op climb to. You know, I had to boost someone up, and then I had to jump up. They grabbed my hand to pick me up. So maybe, like Rick was saying, the co-op person just takes control of that partner adventurer you have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's super duper minimalistic. People don't have faces. Everything's kind of claymation style, just smoothed out. You know, there's not really any details in the world. This is art style it has, but it's just super smooth. The gameplay is tight. You can pick up different weapons, have shields, all this and that, just like the same as Souls, but kind of in a more open setting. You can jump and take over little encampments and things like that. So no, it's good times, man. I can't wait. I'm surprised nobody wanted to play that game, actually, because similar to Sinner, I talked to a guy for 2 seconds and he goes, "Oh hey, you can play." What, really, dude? All right, that's cool. Yeah. Everybody was lining up to play Donut County. I don't know why.
Donut County, which is to put Los Angeles in a hole or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's that demo we saw at PSX where you just control a hole and make stuff drop in it, dude.
And it was a huge line. I was like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah. I wonder if they were giving away free stuff for it or something.
They were, but I didn't see what it was for.
Yeah, well, we definitely jumped into a lot more demos the second day, and I think it's solely because we were on the 6th floor where not that many people were, right?
Yeah, they didn't know about it, and there was a lot of indie games, which was really good.
Yeah,
really good.
No, we were playing a lot up there. The only other one I really remember, dude, that's still gonna burn a hole in my brain, is there's this game where it looks like Minecraft. The faces have a little bit more detail in them, but it starts off, you get fired from your job because you did a favor from somebody, and then in the next scene, this guy's like, "Oh hey, why don't you test out your aim with a shotgun in the gun range?" So you pick up a shotgun, you try to shoot the bullseye. He goes, "Hey, follow me," and he takes you to the opposite side of the bullseye, the other side of the wall. Turns out there was a guy on the other side who got you fired, and you totally just killed him.
Yeah.
And the guy tells you, "All right, you're in our pocket now. If you talk, the dead body's gonna show up in the police, and they're gonna find the gun with your fingerprints on it." Like, wait. This isn't Minecraft, dude.
I know. This was a nice game. You're talking to your wife.
You have to do the dishes and bullshit.
Yeah. And then that's the first time we passed it. I think that was like the last demo. We're like, you know what? Let's look at it.
Yeah.
And then you got fired the first day, and then you went home, and then that's when you had to try out those guns at the shooting range, and then I was like, shit went down fast.
Dude, I know. It took a turn super quick. And I forgot what that fucking game is called, dude.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But, nah, man, PAX was great, dude. I think that's what I enjoy most is not so much the mainstream stuff, but the indie stuff.
Me too.
Because just by talking to those guys, you can tell they're super duper passionate about it. Not saying that, the mainstream AAA titles aren't, but they have more resources, more money to back them up. These guys, it's more of a passion thing where they might go broke after making it, right?
Yep.
They don't have Sony, Activision, or anything backing them up. It's Kickstarter stuff and things like that. It really starts out as a passion project, and for them, it's their child. They're telling you about it. They want you to be as excited as they are about it. I think is super, and you could just tell. When we were playing that rhythm game, when those two guys were telling us about it, you could just tell they were super excited. That we were enjoying their game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it was fun. We might have to go again next year, dude. But on Sunday, Monday, we'll do the other combo round.
Less people.
Yeah. I mean, this was just our experience. Of course, there was a lot of battle royale out there, dude. There was a lot of people dressed up as Fortnite people. There was PUBG all over the place. Every like Razer and Corsair, they all had PUBG demos or battle royale type game demos. So, but that's a given, man. You're gonna see that at any of these things. We just wanted to highlight what we saw, what we thought was special out there. Anything else?
The Gundam game.
The Gundam game. What was it? Oh yeah, dude. Was it? Is that Steel Battalion? I forgot. Anyways,
yep.
It's an old Xbox, OG Xbox game, and I actually had this game, but it comes with a cockpit, pedals, 2 joysticks, a bunch of buttons and stuff. Yeah. And I just never had the time or the patience to set it up. You know, when I was playing Metal Slug, I saw a station of 4 of those just set up in the same room, but there were always people playing it. So I think the second day, Rick and I went in there and said, "Hey, you want to play this? Let's try it out." There was nobody sitting there. And Rick was like, "Yeah, sure." So we jumped in, and the guy's giving us a tutorial. That's how crazy it is. This guy had to sit with us for maybe 4 minutes and tell us how to play the game.
Tell us how to play. I think we died in like 2 minutes.
Dude, what's crazy and what's so awesome about this game, makes it just so immersive, is you have these 2 joysticks, a bunch of buttons in front of you, and all the buttons say something. A button says night vision, a button says long range. There's like a gear shift thing on one side. There's an eject button. There's a system switch where you could turn on your oxygen and all this stuff.
I love those switches.
There's an ignition switch, and legit, when you started the game, it was a 1v1 battle royale. You know, all 4 of us were in the same area just trying to kill each other. When you started up your mech, the cockpit was closing around you. Yeah. And it was dark. You had to press the start button for everything to initialize. You had to press the ignite button for your engines. Then you had a systems check, so you had to turn on your oxygen. You just had to go through all the motions of turning on this mech
of a Gundam
pilot. And they're physical buttons and switches in front of you that you have to flip, you know what I mean? And then you just have at it. You charge up, you know, you have to shift gears to get close to people, and we were in these pretty shitty mechs, so we would just fly past each other and then take 10 years to turn around. If we were turning around at too fast a speed, we would lose balance and fall over, dude. And to go forward, you didn't press forward on the joysticks, you pressed on the pedals, and then you could dodge left or right using the pedals as well. Oh man, that was super fun. I was telling Rick, when we become millionaires, you know, we're definitely buying those and just playing them in the cockpits in our rooms, dude. Because that was super fun. And then, when you die, the guy was telling us, if you start to see your mech exploding, some electricity around your cockpit, press the eject button, or else you died and you can't jump back in the game. I was like, what?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And it was cool because you really had to eject, and then you could see your person just shoot out of the mech and stuff. And then when you got back in the mech, you had to do all the same things. You had to restart. You had to go through all the systems checks and stuff again. No, that was super fun. The Gundam game. I think my favorite part is after you do all the system checks, like it shows you the level of your energy, and you have to wait till they all get past 70% for you to press ignite.
To press start.
Yeah, man, that was the best part. That was the funnest part for me for that startup whole system.
All we need is the voices, like all systems go.
Yeah.
Initiating thrusters.
What I think is the audience for that is super niche, I think, which is why it probably didn't do well. But if they came out with that now, I think that'd be sick, man.
With VR, I think I need it with VR.
With VR, that'd be cool, but I think they'd want to make it affordable at first, so maybe no VR, or an option for no VR. You know, something that we could play on our rigs right now. You know, we just have to get the hardware for it. I think that'd be tight. Oh man, that was actually, I'm glad you remembered that, dude, because that was actually super fun, man. But yeah, anything else, man? You remember anything else?
Oh, remember that game I beat you in? I forgot what the game was. King of Fighters or something?
I don't remember that at all, dude.
I was like, Terry, and I beat you.
No,
and
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I was dancing circles. Yeah, I think it was that game.
Nah, man.
The same room.
Nah, Rick is trash, dude. He tried to be like, oh man, I don't know how to play this game at all. You know what I mean? And then like when our healths were literally just centimeters, both of our health, and he unleashes like a special move that I never seen before.
Except for the Power Shaku, ground wave.
I'm not this fucking guy, man. Heard of Pool Sharks? Rick is a was it Fatal Fury? Is that what that game is called?
Yeah,
or King of Fighters. Shark, man. Also, shout out to the enforcers, man. The enforcers, I guess, are what they call their volunteers for PAX.
Yeah.
But nah, man, they were
pretty nice.
Yeah, they were nice, man, and they were enthusiastic, way more passionate about it. It kind of put the Comic-Con volunteers to shame, dude.
Yeah, I remember I got in one of the way of one of the enforcers, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but I hope you're enjoying the PAX." I was like, "Dude,
yeah, man,
give me a hug, man."
And I know, last week we were talking about the shooting in Jacksonville at that Madden tournament, and
yeah,
there were definitely rumblings I heard from people, just overhearing conversations about, oh, I don't feel safe, there's no metal detectors, I could sneak in a gun so many ways here. Just why even think like that, man? You know what I mean? I think that's how I get through, is just don't think about it. If something happens, there's emergency exits, there's cops all over the place, so something's gonna happen, it'll be taken care of. But you can't just go day to day, event to event, living in fear that shit's gonna happen, or how many ways it could happen, right? Thinking like that, the people win. The people that terrorize and shit like that, they win, dude, because then you just can't have fun at anything. So, I mean, that's not to say just to be ignorant and live life in the clouds and walk into Dauntless without waiting in line for your entire life, but yeah,
the rest of your life.
But just don't be so, I guess, pessimistic all the time is the word. Just be positive and enjoy the moment for what it is. Don't have that cloud hanging over your head. Enjoy life while it's fucking in front of you, dude. Don't hold back, because oh my god, someone could sneak a gun in here so easy. Like, chill out. It'll be all right. Well, yeah, dude, PAX West was great.
PAX was great. I'm still going through withdrawals. But yeah, PAX was great.
Rick's, scratching his neck right now. Y'all got any more of them conventions, man?
Yeah. Got any more games?
Well, yeah, man. Did you buy anything? You didn't buy anything. Oh, you just bought the bottle opener.
Yeah. I was doing my very best not to buy everything, because I'm a sucker for like merchandise, and especially branded merchandise, like from my favorite video games. But fortunately enough, I came close actually to when we were leaving PAX. I was about to buy those Monster Hunter pins.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, these price numbers are pretty big for just a pin. And I looked, and it's like $20 for only 3 pins, and they're separate by category. So it's like, you want, heavy weapons, there's 3 of them, and you can get it for $20. Or if you want like longsword and all that, it's $25 for 4 pins. And I was like, dang, they're capitalizing on I just want 1 pin.
Exactly.
And I can't share it with you guys. Like, if we had like same weapons in one particular category, then I would definitely buy it. But other than that, I only bought a Shovel Knight bottle opener, which is pretty cool. It's all right in opening the bottle. I was struggling, but
wait, are you using it correctly, dude?
I don't know. I used it that one time when I was opening a bottle of Coke, so I need to go buy like a bottle of beer or something and try it out.
No, it's all right. Opening the Doritos, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Maybe I buy some Dos Equis, get some tacos.
Tell me why that was the greatest Dos Equis I've ever drank, dude.
I think it's because we were starving and it was good.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, we were once I took a bite out of that taco, took a sip of that Dos Equis, I was like, oh my god, dude, this is the nectar of life right now. I have no idea what's going on.
I know, I felt it too. I was like, damn, when was the last time I had one?
Refreshed, dude. I think that was more like water than beer. I didn't get drunk at all. I was just like, oh my god, I'm so full of energy after this.
Yeah, usually I get like lime, but I was like, damn, this is good.
I know, yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. But man, good times, dude. Good times.
Great times.
But yeah, dude, anything else? PAX West? Yeah, no, yeah.
We visited Pike's Market.
Oh yeah.
We got those awesome waffles. What else did we got lost for a little bit going up and down a hill. Went to Card Kingdom, which is pretty cool, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Go to Seattle. Go to, it's called Mox now, I guess.
Yeah.
Go to Mox, and basically it's a card shop, sells all types of cards, board games, and whatnot. But the cool thing is, there's a bar / restaurant attached to it. So basically, if you have your cards and you want to play Magic, then you can just order a beer and play Magic the entire time. And we were expecting to do that, just hang out and drink beer and play games. But, unfortunately, all of PAX moved over to Mox when it was over, and it was a 2-hour wait. So we're like, you know what? Let's get some Din Tai Fung.
No way. And yeah, there was a 2-hour wait over there too.
It was 2-hour wait. Yeah, I was like, God, why?
That's what we got.
PAX people gotta go home.
Dos Equis and tacos, dude.
Oh yeah.
But no, that place was pretty cool. But you know why it was packed, right? They were giving free Lyft vouchers from the convention center to that place. Is why, man.
Oh, so, I see.
Yeah, man. That's why.
Yeah. Brilliant strategy. Because I think everybody ended up buying something from Mox. Did you buy your?
Oh yeah, I bought the pin. I bought a pin there. Yeah.
See. So brilliant strategy.
Brilliant strategy, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for us this week. I mean, I'm sure throughout the week we'll remember more stuff about PAX that we'll bring up. But yeah, that'll be it for us this week. We'll see you guys next week. But until then, Rick, some words of wisdom?
Enjoy life while it's fucking in front of you, aka Brent, 2018.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.